I detest my sister's fiance, so I won't be attending her wedding. After giving it more thought, it appears I might be mistaken. Brooke, my sister, has been together with Mark since her freshman year of high school. As far as I understand it, they did not want to get married initially because Brooke is vehemently against children, and so is Mark. Nevertheless, they have decided to hold a wedding or commitment ceremony next spring after lots of deliberation over the years. The problem is that I've known Mark since I was a kid. He started coming around our house a lot when he and Brooke were sophomores in high school, so I was 8 or so when I first met him as Brooke's boyfriend, and I have basically hated him the whole time. I've tried to be polite, particularly now that we are all adults, but I just don't want to go to the wedding of my sister and the guy she's always put before her family. For example, when Brooke and Mark started dating, Brooke went from eating dinner at home with the rest of us every night to going out 2 or 3 times a week with Mark and his friends. This was against our parents' rules. This caused a lot of arguments that negatively impacted both me and our younger sister, Jenny, who was barely in kindergarten at the time and didn't understand what was going on. Brooke and our parents started fighting essentially every night, and it was incredibly disruptive to our home life. My sister went from being my best friend to a stranger, and Mark was the one encouraging it. The stress of those years was so bad that I had to repeat 4th grade because I failed math, and I was bullied really badly for that. I stopped going to school looking well-groomed because there was so much tension at home that no one was paying attention to whether I had clean clothes or not. Jenny also struggled academically and socially, but I was able to step in and help her more with things like getting dressed and packing her lunch, so she doesn't remember those years as negatively as I do. Of course, as soon as Brooke and Mark graduated, he convinced her to move across the country to go to college. Our parents were really hurt by this, and there were a few years where she didn't come home over Christmas or summers. Eventually, things cooled down when I was in high school, and Brooke started making more contact with our family. However, Mark would do things like glare at our parents over the dinner table and all of a sudden declare that it was time for them to go. I don't think I should have to attend my sister's wedding to this man who took her from us. And I am planning on saying no when the time comes. Our family has been minimally involved in the wedding planning, and I am not in the bridal party or anything like that. They are all friends of the couple from the hospital they work at. I had a heart-to-heart talk with Brooke Tuesday night after my parents went to bed. It was really beneficial for both of us, I think. After much thought, I realized maybe I haven't handled things maturely over the years. Perhaps my sister had her own reasons, and it's her choice. I apologized profusely for how bitter I've been over things that happened when we were younger and for how I've treated Mark when he's been such a strong support for her all these years. Brooke accepted the apology for herself on Mark's behalf and also offered to give me Mark's cell number so we could start to build up more of our own relationship. Brooke also shed some light on the context of those rough teenage years. She did really find solace in Mark from all of the pressure at home, and in particular, the pressure to go to church, dress and act in the way the church demands, and pretend to believe in things she disagrees with. She and my parents would argue over new beliefs she formed through conversations with Mark, including some science-denying opinions that I was surprised to hear my parents used to believe in. At this point, they are much stronger believers in secular medicine, probably due to the increased medical issues that they've needed to treat. But apparently, when Brooke was growing up, they only supported homeopathy and natural medicine. Brooke also found it interesting to hear some of my perspective on how our parents have changed as they have gotten older. Since I am their primary caregiver, I have spent more time with them than either Brooke or Jenny. I have witnessed a lot of positive changes in them over the years. She was also interested in my plans for the future beyond our parents and was touched when I said that I wanted to try to pursue nursing like her eventually. I'm going to try and learn more about personal finance, and Brooke is willing to help me by sharing her journey there. I'm hoping that this will help me save up more of a nest egg for the future. In terms of therapy, I'm seeing one. And I do like my current therapist, who is a licensed social worker, since he has some really useful recommendations for how to take care of my parents while taking care of myself and avoiding burnout. I will also check out text therapy too, since that might be a nice option to give me more contact with the world outside of our very small country community. I think me and Brooke will have a much better relationship moving forward.